Let me make you co-host. You can start.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Shunvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyantastoya Bhadrani Vidinoti Surat Satam Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nestiki नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे. I humbly seek the blessing from all assembled Vaishnavas. Please forgive me for any misinterpretation. So I'll summarize chapter 4 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, chapter 4 of Srimad Bhagavatam, titled as Sati Quits Her Body. So, in the previous chapter, the last few verses, Lord Shiva advises to Sati not to go to the place where Daksha was performing yajna, because she might be insulted. So insult from close relatives is unbearable. So from continue that here, text 1 says, the sage Maitreya said, Lord Shiva was silent after speaking to Sati. Seeing her between decisions, Sati was very much anxious to see her relatives at her father's house. But at the same time, she was afraid Lord Shiva was warning. Her mind unsettled, she moved in and out of her room as a swing moves this way and that. Sati felt very sorry at being forbidden to go to see her relatives at her father's house, and due to affection for them, tears fell from her eyes. Shaking and very much afflicted, she looked at her uncommon husband, Lord Shiva, as if she were going to blast him with her vision. Thereafter, Sati left her husband, Lord Shiva, who had given her half his body due to affection, breathing very heavily because of anger and bereavement. She went to the house of her father. This less intelligent act was due to her being a weak woman. Text 4. When they saw Sati leaving alone very rapidly, thousands of Lord Shiva's disciples headed by Maniman and Madha quickly followed her with his bull Nandi in front and accompanied by the Yakshas. Text 5. The disciples of Lord Shiva arranged for Sati to be seated on back of a bull and gave her the bird which was her pet. They bore lotus flower, a mirror, and all such paraphernalia for her enjoyment, and covered her with the great canopy, followed by a singing party with drums, conch shells, bugles. Entire procession was a pompous as royal parade. She then reached her father's house, where the sacrifice was being performed, and entered the arena where everyone was chanting the Vedic hymns. The great sages, the Brahmanas, the demigods were all assembled there, and there were many sacrificial animals, as well as pots made of clay, stone, gold, grass, skin, which were all requisite for the sacrifice. So in this text 6 purport, Prabhupada says the animal sacrifice, sacrificial animals in the Vedic rituals is not the same as animals slaughter, uh, wherein the sacrificial animals were offered to the fire of sacrifice, it will get higher birth. And it's also to test the mantra of the chanters. Whereas animal slaughter is to satisfy the tongue. Text 7, when Sati with followers reached the arena, because of all the people assembled were afraid of Daksha, none of them received her well. No one welcomed her but her mother and sisters, who with tears in their eyes, with glad faces welcomed her and talked with her very pleasingly. Although she was received by her sisters and mother, she did not reply to their words of reception. And although she was offered a seat and presents, she did not accept anything. For her father neither talked with her nor welcomed her by asking about her welfare. Present in the arena of sacrifice, Sati saw there were no oblations for her husband, Lord Shiva. Next, realized that not only had her father failed to invite Lord Shiva, but when she saw Lord Shiva's exalted wife Daksha did not receive her either. Thus she became greatly angry, so much so that she looked at her father as if she were going to burn him with her eyes. The followers of text 10, the followers of Lord Shiva, the ghosts, were ready to injure or kill Daksha, but Sati stopped them by her order. She was very angry and sorrowful. In that mood, she began to condemn the process of sacrificial fruitive activities and persons who are very proud of such unnecessary and troublesome sacrifices. She especially condemned her father, speaking against him in the presence of all. So this uh, Sati, she condemned these sacrificial fruitive activities, that is karma kanda, that is Vedic sacrifices performed for some material gain. There are in the Vedas, there are four principles of these Vedas, that is dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Uh, perform dharma, performing sacrificial offerings or for sacrificial performance for artha, for the material gain, and the material gain for kama, for sense enjoyment. So when they are frustrated and then they want to moksha, the merge into the impersonal Brahman. So, goddess Sati, she condemned such sacrificial fruitive activities. Text 11, the blessed goddess said, Lord Shiva is the most beloved of all living entities. He had no rival. No one is very dear to him. No one is his enemy. No one but you could be envious of such universal being who is free from all enmity. So here Prabhupada says in the purport that Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Samoham Sarvabhuteshu, Name Dveshasti Napriya. So one must be equal to everyone, not envious of someone or not biased to someone. Another place, Lord Krishna says, Vidya Vinaya Sampanni, Brahmane Vihastini, Shuni Chaiva Swapakecha, Pandita Samadarshini. A Pandita, learned person, must see all living beings equally, whether a dog or a Brahman or a dog eater, elephant or a cow, he sees equal. And other, here goddess Sati says that Lord Shiva is non-envious. This enviousness is an impediment in the spiritual path. Lord Krishna says in chapter 9, Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Idam tu te guhyatamam pravakshami anasuyavi. Lord Krishna says to Arjuna that I am speaking this most confidential knowledge to you because you are anasuyavi, you are non-envious. And in the Bhagavatam also, in the very beginning, it says, Dharma projita kaitava atra parama nirmasaranam satam. This great transcendental literature, Srimad Bhagavatam, is for the persons who are nirmasaranam, non-envious. So here, Goddess Sati says that Lord Shiva is no one, Goddess Shiva, Lord Shiva is non-envious. Whereas Daksha, he was puffed off his material position. He was the leader of the Prajapatis, and he is puffed up his material position, and he was envious of Lord Shiva. Textual, twice born Daksha, a man like you can simply find fault in the qualities of others. Lord Shiva, however, not only finds no faults with others' qualities, but if someone has a little good quality, he magnifies it greatly. Unfortunately, you found fault with such great soul. Here, Prabhupada says the one who are fault finders are like the fly. Fly goes to an injured animal and it makes the injury bigger. Whereas a person who amplifies the good quality of another devotee is like a honey bee. It goes to the flower and only tastes the nectar. And it is not that it is hurting the flower. Actually, flower wants the association of a bee. Text 13, it is not wonderful for persons who have accepted transient material body as the self to engage always in deriding great souls. Such envy on the part of materialistic persons is very good because that is the way they fall down. They are diminished by the dust of the feet of great personalities. So by this way, by being envious, the materialist persons are entangled in the cycle of birth and death. Text 14, Sati continued, my dear father, you are committing the greatest offense by envying Lord Shiva, whose very name consisting of two syllables, Shi and Va, purifies one of all sinful activities. His order is never neglected. Lord Shiva is always pure, and no one but you can envy him. So Shiva consists two words, Shiva, which means auspicious, all auspicious. So the devotees of Lord Shiva, and eventually they come to the position that Aham Brahmasmi, I am the spirit soul, not this body, I'm the spirit soul. And then they realize who Shiva is meditating upon. Lord, in the previous chapter, says, Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam. Lord Shiva is always meditating on Vasudeva. And when the devotees understand Lord Shiva is always meditating upon Lord Vishnu, then they become the devotees of Vishnu. In this way, they get purified. The devotees of Lord Shiva also, they are eventually become devotees of Lord Vishnu. Text 15, you are envious of Lord Shiva, who is the friend of all living entities within the three worlds. For common man, he fulfills his all desires because of their engagement in thinking of his lotus feet. He also blesses higher personalities who are seeking after Brahmananda. Do you think the greater and more respectable personalities than you, such as Lord Brahma, do not know this inauspicious person who goes under the name Lord Shiva? He associates with the demons, and in the crematorium, his locks of hair are scattered all over body, and he garlanded with the human skulls and smeared with the ashes from the crematorium. But in spite of all these inauspicious qualities, great personalities like Brahma honor him by accepting the flowers offered to his lotus feet and placing them with great respect on their heads. So here, goddess Sati, she is explaining the position of Lord Shiva. Even though Lord Shiva appeared as the son of Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva was there before Brahma. And Lord Shiva is higher position than Lord Brahma. Lord Krishna has 64 qualities in full. Lord Narayana has 60 qualities in full. And Lord Shiva has 55 qualities in higher degree compared to Lord Brahma. So Lord Shiva's position is higher than Lord Brahma. So Brahma comes, goes, another new Brahma comes. If there is no qualified Brahma, the Lord himself takes the position of Lord Brahma. So text 17, Sati continued, if one hears an irresponsible person blaspheme the master and the controller of religion, one should block his ears and go away if unable to punish him. But if one is able to kill, then one should by force cut out the blasphemer's tongue and kill the offender. And after that, one should give up his own body. So here, one who blasphemes the Lord, if he's a Brahmana, he simply closes his ears and walks away. But if he's a Kshatriya, he may retaliate. But goddess Sati, she's being a woman, she decided to quit her own body. Text 18, therefore I shall no longer bear this unworthy body which has been received from you who have blasphemed Lord Shiva. If someone has taken food which is poisonous, the best treatment is to omit. It is better to execute one's own occupational duty than criticize others. Elevated transcendentals may sometimes forego the rules and regulations of the Vedas, since they do not need to follow them, just as the demigods travel in space, whereas ordinary men travel on the surface of the earth. So here, goddess Sati is saying, Daksha may condemn Lord Shiva because he is not following the Vedic rules and regulations. He is in the crematorium, his body is covered with the ashes. These are all not prescribed in the Vedas. One has to be clean, one has to take regularly bath, all those things. She was wearing the garland of skulls. So all these rules and regulations of the Vedas, to one who come to the position where he's completely, fully Krishna conscious, but one was already reached that position, for him all these rules and regulations do not apply. Text 20, in the Vedas, three directions. When the Vedas, there are directions for two kinds of activities. Activities for those who are attached to material enjoyment, and activities for those who are materially attached. In consideration of these two kinds of activities, there are two kinds of people who have different symptoms. If one wants to see two kinds of activities in one person, that is contradictory, but both kinds of activities may be neglected by a person who is transcendentally situated. So here Purport Prabhupada says that a grahastha has a certain duty, a sannyasi has a certain duty. One who is in a grahastha ashrama, he cannot perform the duty of a sannyasi. When he is a sannyasi ashrama, he cannot perform the duty of a grahastha. But Lord Shiva is superior. So in this way, I'll summarize the remaining text. Then Sati sits down wearing saffron dress, sprinkles water and meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord Shiva, and then quits her body because she thought this body is given to her is part of Lord Daksha, and someone calls her Dakshayani, which means the daughter of Satish. It disturbs her. She wanted to completely cut off all association with the Daksha, and in this way she quits her body. So when she quit her body, her associates, the Yakshas, all those, they try to attack uh, Daksha, and then Bhrigu creates the demigods called uh, Ribus. Here, the 33, when Bhrigu Muni offered oblations in fire, immediately many thousands of demigods named Ribus became manifested. All of them were powerful, having achieved the strength from Soma, the moon. When Ribus demigod attacked the ghosts, Guhyakas, with the half-burned fuel from the Yajna fire, all these attendants of Sati fled in different directions and disappeared. This was possible simply because of Brahma Tejas, Brahminical power. So the Sati in the next life, she became the daughter of Himalaya, the Parvati, and then marries Lord Shiva.